Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Daphne, and today we're talking about my 22nd week of pregnancy.
My daddy told me, son, don't you get in.
All right guys, let's jump right into stats and symptoms. So I got on the scale this morning. I was 153 pounds, which is another pound gain from last week, and that is a total of 9 pounds at 22 weeks, which I'm okay with. I'm hoping that I can keep it to 1 pound a week from here on out, and it happened this week, so I guess I'm good with that. And I just need to be a little careful about what I'm eating, and I am definitely trying to do that, but boy, I am hungry all the time, and yeah, it's going to be a challenge kind of keeping a grip on that. In terms of symptoms, I think my biggest symptom this week has just been the same that it has been basically the entire pregnancy, which is just tiredness. I am feeling tired a lot, and I think it's normal. It's just from growing a baby, and also I have 2 other little kids at home, so yeah, just tiredness. I feel like I want to take a nap every day if I can, and obviously I can't do that every day, but certainly on weekends and stuff, and even sometimes during my lunch hour, I'm just like, you know what, I need to sleep. Like, I could do dishes or sleep, I'm gonna sleep. So yeah, that's been kind of that. Now, the other huge symptom that I am experiencing this week is peeing. I have to pee all the time. And I mentioned this last week, but it's again, like, it happened again this week. It's every half an hour. And like, we went to the zoo last weekend, and so I peed before we got in the car. We drove, it's like a 40-minute drive. I got there, I peed, and then I peed like 3 more times in the 2 hours that we were at the zoo, and then we came home, and I was like dying by the time I got home. I had to pee again. So I don't know. It just, I don't know if she's just in like a weird position where she's pressing on my bladder, but obviously, like, look at the bump. Obviously she's big, like, and all of this like pressure is sitting on top of my bladder, and and so I don't know, I guess I can just expect that to either stay the same or get worse, but I hope it doesn't get significantly worse, because what would I do? Just pee all the time? Just be in the bathroom all the time? I don't know. I don't know what that looks like, and I'm kind of scared, to be honest. Obviously, I'm getting bigger. I can feel when I press on my belly, I can feel my uterus comes up to about here. And I'm feeling that. I'm feeling movement. I'm feeling her kick. And when she kicks, it's either like down here, like way down here, or here, like right at my belly button line, or I'm feeling kicks like way up here, like boom, like up on the sides. So I don't know, she's kind of all over everywhere, and I can see her kicks physically. Like, I see my belly like twitching and moving all the time. And yesterday I feel like she was just awake all day. Like, I don't know when she slept, but yeah, I don't know. She is having a party in there all the time. She's a super active baby, which all of my kids have been, and I guess that's just how my kids are. Now, both of my kids had the cord wrapped around their neck when they came out, which is not a big deal, and it happens in a lot of pregnancies, but I'm guessing it's just because my kids are so active in the belly that they've, like, you know, they do loops and stuff. And Chloe had a true knot in her cord where she had somehow like fully knotted her cord, and luckily it wasn't tight enough that it was cutting off blood, but they said it's pretty rare to have a true knot. So I don't know, I guess, you know, I just have really active babies, and I will just be prepared for, you know, their cord to potentially be an issue. I'm not saying it's necessarily going to be an issue. I just, you know, there's that. Another thing that I've noticed picking up this week is SPD pain. And if you don't know what that is, the front of your pelvis, kind of the bones connect like this. And some people during pregnancy, the bones separate. And then when you walk, the pelvis kind of shifts like this, and it's extremely painful. And I am starting to get this pain more and more often. It's not all the time, but it's when I have been on my feet, like the zoo day, when I've been on my feet for a long period of time, I'm starting to notice my pelvis is extremely sore. And that's just something that I have to live with. I know it goes away, and your pelvis kind of comes back together once baby comes, but I'm anticipating the separating just getting worse basically from here on out. And as she gets bigger and as I get bigger, that just is what it is. And there's not much you can do about it. So that's kind of one of those things where I'm just like, okay, you know, that is what it is, and I'll just deal with it. I think that my SPD, like the pain was pretty bad during labor itself, and I'm gonna have to talk to my OB. I actually get to go see her in a few days. I have my, I don't even know what it is. I get just a second trimester checkup. And I'll just ask her, I guess, if there's any way to manage the SPD pain while you're in labor, because I think my epidural wasn't working. And I mean, it was working in that I couldn't feel the contractions like throughout my belly and my back, but right at my pubic bone, or like right, you know, where that pelvis is, I was feeling a lot of pain, and it was like bone pain. So, and that was in both of my labors. I felt that really, really bad pain with my epidural. So I'm wondering if it's the SPD that was causing that. And if any of you have had SPD during labor, I'm just wondering if you were feeling the same pelvic pain that I was, even with an epidural. I wonder if there's anything that they can do for management. And I will let you guys know what my doctor says, because I'm really hoping that I have less pain this time during labor with my epidural. I do plan on getting an epidural. So I've been kind of going back and forth, and I've been doing a lot of research this week on, you know, potentially doing a natural birth versus doing a birth with anesthesia. And, you know, both of my previous labors, I have had an epidural, and I have not regretted it one little bit. But with my last pregnancy, I had a postpartum hemorrhage. So I've been looking into literally anything that can be something that can help, you know, prevent a hemorrhage. And apparently the research shows that an epidural has a positive effect on hemorrhage. So I am probably going to get the epidural either way. And so I don't know, we'll see. I definitely want to go as long as I can without getting the epidural, because I don't want things to slow down. I want to be able to walk, and I want to be able to get in the bath if I can, and all of this stuff. And so, yeah, I don't know. We'll see about that. I've just been thinking a lot about that. In terms of Braxton Hicks contractions, I was having kind of a lot of those earlier, and then they've kind of faded away. And then this week I felt, you know, I feel like maybe 1 or 2 a day. And I've only felt one where I was like, ooh, that feels like a real contraction. Like that feels like true, like tightening, and feels like a labor contraction. And I only had one of those, and I was like, okay, well, interesting, that's cool. I know they're gonna get, you know, more and more frequent and all of this stuff. So it's exciting, it's cool. I also feel like this week I have started kind of feeling the need to nest, and a lot of mamas can talk about this. You know, it just feels like you want to get everything ready for baby. And so my daughter Nina, she's 3.5, and we are moving her from her crib, which right now has like the rail off and it's a toddler bed, but we're moving her into a big girl bed, like a full-sized bed. And we're like doing these built-ins in her room and everything. So I have taken all of her stuff and moved it into the baby's room. And so she's staying in there right now. But once she moves to her big girl room, like the crib and everything is going to stay in the baby's room, and it'll just be ready for her. So it's kind of nice. Like I'm feeling a little less tense now that, and honestly, like the baby's going to sleep in our room for probably the first 6 months at least. But just like having her room ready and having like her furniture in there and stuff, it just feels nice. And so I'll update you guys on Nina's room. We really haven't even gotten, oops, sorry, that's the train if you can hear that. We haven't even really gotten started. I've kind of planned it out, and I will show you a picture here of like what we're gonna do with Nina's room. We're doing like built-ins along her 2 walls, and then like a little window seat under her window where she can read and stuff. And I just think it's a fun idea. It's really cute. So that's what I'm gonna do. We'll see, you know, obviously like she asks me every day, she's like, Mom, is my big girl room ready? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've done nothing. Like I'm so tired. I haven't made any progress on it, but I need to. So hopefully I'll get like a whole bunch of energy pretty soon to continue the nesting. But at least like I got all the stuff moved out of her room, and you know, we're just making baby steps. And so that's good. I've got hopefully like 3 to 4 more months until baby comes. So it is time to start getting stuff ready, but you know, we'll see. So Lily this week is 11 inches long. She's about the size of an ear of corn. So she's getting pretty big. And obviously I can tell that she's getting big because I'm getting pretty big. And honestly, like looking at my belly, like I'm a little bit scared by how big, and you know, this happens every pregnancy, and by the end you're like, holy crap, like I'm so big. And honestly, I've only ever, like the furthest I've ever made it into a pregnancy is 36 weeks and 5 days, I think. And so I don't even know like what life would be like if I was, you know, 40 weeks pregnant. Like I don't even know. Like kudos to moms who go to like 41 weeks, because I just can't even imagine being pregnant like a whole month longer than I was at the end, because I feel like I was so pregnant. And I feel like I'm so pregnant now, and I'm like 22 weeks. So I don't know, we'll see. Lily is also finally at the 1 pound mark. So she's a whole pound, which is really exciting. A whole pound, a whole 11 inches long. We're almost to the 1 foot mark in length, which is really exciting. And in the next few weeks, we're just focusing on gaining weight, me hopefully maintaining weight and like kind of slowly creeping up. And then, yeah, and the only other thing that I've noticed with Lily this week is that she has started to really react to sounds. Like we moved Nina's crib into Lily's room, and we had to like take off the door to get it to fit through the door. And when the door kind of like came off the hinges, it made this really loud sound. And oh my gosh, she jumped like so hard. She was like, boom! I don't know. I just think it's interesting that she's hearing stuff and reacting to it. Obviously her hearing is very developed, and you know, her ability to like kick and move and stuff is really developed, which I can tell because she has a party in my belly all the time. So anyway, that's about it for this week. Not too much exciting, but I will update you guys after my OB appointment. I have lots and lots of questions for my OB in terms of labor and like managing my labor and delivery, preventing hemorrhage hopefully, and like what, you know, what our action plan is if it does happen, and same thing with preeclampsia. I just have a lot of questions, and I'm hoping that I get them answered this week. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please do like the video, subscribe if you want to follow this journey and see my birth vlog at the end, and comment down below and just tell me who you are and how you're doing and where you're at in your own pregnancy. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next week for my 23-week update.
Away we go. I'm just a boy with a one-man show. No, you